All right, welcome back to Final Girl Horror, all you bookworms and constant readers. Today I have got a good one for you. We're going to be talking about Kristopher Triana. I hope I'm saying the name correctly. Gone to See the Riverman. This book is extremely creepy. Let's start out with the cover, because if you're new here, you'll hear me say this again and again. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Chelsea. We always start out with the cover, because I always say you can totally judge a book by its cover. I have found numerous books that were outstanding because they had a catchy cover. This cover, it's okay. It's got a wraparound cover. Most of the back is the synopsis, so you can't see it, but it is a wraparound cover. It's okay. It's not a cover that would necessarily get me to buy the book. The title would get me to buy the book. If I saw this in the horror section, I would pick it up because I would want to know what is Gone to See the Riverman. But the cover does have something to do with the story, and that's something that I like with covers. So I'd give it like a 3 out of 5. It wouldn't get me to buy it, but it does have something to do with the story. And it's more the title that would get me to pick up this book. Alright, so the back of it. Reading this synopsis. It says, superfans, groupies, stalkers. These people will give anything for the idols they worship. But be they rock stars, actors, or authors, or even serial killers. Laurie's obsession is with Edmund Cox, who was convicted of butchering more than 20 women. She will do anything to get close to him, so when he gives her a task, she accepts. She has no idea of the horror that awaits her. Edmund says she must go to his cabin in the woods and retrieve a key to deliver to a mysterious figure known only as the Riverman. She brings along her sister, and the trip becomes a surreal nightmare, one that digs up Laurie's personal demons, the ones she feels bounds her to Edmund. Soon, she will learn the Riverman is not quite fact or folklore, and definitely not human, at least not anymore. That is a really good synopsis of what is going on in this book. The book basically follows Laurie, and this is less than 200 pages. But it follows Laurie. She's the main character, but you also have her sister Abby, who is mentally challenged. That's really the only way I can put it, because if I use the medical term, the video will get flagged and taken down because of YouTube, and people don't accept this medical term, even though it still is used to this day. On medical charts, it's listed as MR now. I learned all about this in nursing school, so I'm not just making shit up. But if you look up what MR stands for on a medical chart, you'll know what I'm talking about. Abby relies totally on her sister for everything. She cannot survive on her own. She needs Laurie to take care of her. If Laurie wasn't there, she would have to go to a medical facility that could take care of her needs. That's just the way that she is. And Laurie is obsessed with this serial killer, Edmund Cox. They start out as pen pals, And then that leads to face-to-face visits, and that is when Edmund basically sends her on like this quest to prove herself to him, with the goal after her proving herself is they will start conjugal visits. At least that's what Laurie thinks. But everything is not always on the up and up with Edmund, which you learn as the story progresses. So she has to go to this cabin that law enforcement never found, knew nothing about, and she has to retrieve this key. This cabin has been in Edmund's family for a long, long time, and she's supposed to go downriver from the cabin to another cabin and deliver this key to this mysterious figure called the Riverman. And once she does that, she proves herself to Edmund, and Laurie has this weird fantasy they're going to live happily ever after. But the nightmares that come along the way, this is the brilliance of this author. I've never read this author before, never even heard of him, and I don't remember who recommended these books to me, or where I heard about them, so I can't give credit there. But I've already started the second book. That's how much I liked this book. The brilliance of this guy's writing is he has less than 200 pages, and you learn this woman's whole life story. And in the beginning, you kind of feel sorry for her. She's in this situation where, she has to take care of her sister. She really doesn't have a life of her own. Her sister can be really difficult at times. And you don't understand, like, why does she want to be, associated with this serial killer? This dude, he raped and butchered and, like, just brutally tortured and murdered all of these women. Why would a woman, want to be around a guy like that? But as the story goes on, you start to learn what type of person Laurie really is, and the horrible things that she has done in her past. And then your perception of her, it starts to change, and you really start to hate her. You don't like her, and you hope that this Riverman is going to make her pay for the things that she's done. Because so far, all these horrible things that she's done, she's gotten away with. And I can't get into what it is that she's done because it'll totally ruin the story. But this book takes you through her entire life. And you learn about all the horrible shit that she has done. And you're just like, oh my God, I hate this woman. And you start to ask yourself, is Edmund and Laurie really that different? Because the things that she's done are just as bad as the things that he has done. And as they travel, they have to hike this path along this river to get to Edmund's cabin. They meet people along the way. One is a mysterious preacher. He knows exactly like why she's there, and basically tells her, I know you're going to see the Riverman. That's the only reason people come out here. Then she meets this older blues musician, and he tells her the legend of the Riverman. And the Riverman in this part of Texas, where the story takes place, is known by all the locals. And they consider it legend, they consider it folklore, some people consider it the truth. And so you learn about the mysterious mystique of this Riverman and what he does, and why people go see him. I can't tell you any of that because, again, it will spoil the story. Like, there's a lot that I cannot tell you because it will just ruin the story. And this is something you have to read and experience on your own, because as it unfolds, there are so many, like, oh shit moments in this book. It is so good. And when Lori finally gets to the Riverman and it's revealed, you're just like, oh my God, like this is far worse than I ever imagined. And the ending is a total surprise. I didn't see it coming. It's not how I thought the book was going to end. It's a total page turner. It took me just a few days to read it. I totally love this book. It's very short. It's like 170 pages. 163 pages. Highly recommend checking it out. For me, every day is Halloween. I love reading scary books, but I know this is the time of year in October where people really read scary books. This one is scary. It's creepy. The stuff that happens in here, some parts, if you're not used to reading like creepy, scary stories, it may be a bit disturbing. I read so many horror novels and watch so many horror movies. I'm kind of desensitized to that type of stuff. But yeah, it is definitely creepy. Definitely worth checking out. 5 out of 5. Gone to See the Riverman by Kristopher Triana. I hope I'm saying that correctly. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment below if you've read this book. What did you think about it? Did you like it as much as I did? What didn't you like about it if you didn't like it? Subscribe to the channel. We actually hit 50 subscribers. I never thought like I would ever get that many subscribers. We actually have 50 subscribers now. It took a while to get there. Next step is 100. Help me get to 100. Ring the bell so you know when I put out new videos. I put new videos out every 2 weeks at 12 a.m. on Saturdays. That is Central Standard Time. Until next time. Read more books.